Hello everybody, I'm John Evans and you're watching another episode of Mid-Mod Money, the show that teaches you how to buy and sell vintage items for a profit. Thanks for hanging out in my basement with me for the next 10 minutes or so, and I will say you're going to see some incredible things on today's show. Like this amazing fancy pants ostrich plume pen. Look at that. With the velveteen pad there. Like you're a king. Imagine being someone's boss and you sit down at their desk and they say, hold on, I'll sign that HR document. Just give me a second, I'll make it official. I paid $4 for this at my local Goodwill. $4. I think I can get about $18 for the fancy quill pen. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to, as I always do, to hit the like button if you're thinking about it. Hit the like button, and also you want to subscribe to the show because that's how you win the free stuff first Monday of the month. Also, huge shout out to my fiance who on my 54th birthday very recently picked up these two vintage Wuppies, or Weeple as they are also known, with the googly eyes. Very rare, large size. You couldn't escape these in the 70s, and she managed to find two rare Wuppies for my birthday. So, wanted to get that out of the way. Shout out to Christina. Okay, let's get started on today's thrift store haul. It's an incredible haul. I know I always say that, but I do manage to find great stuff week in, week out. And I'm always looking. I'm always stopping. And let's start here with this beautiful vintage copper art. It is of a scantily clad woman. I don't know if she's clad at all, but it looks it's a great, this is a handmade copper, pressed copper. The details, like the brass bed outside, you can see this tree, the sun. This is very well done, unsigned and undated. So I don't know how old this is. I would guess this is probably 1960s or 70s, based on the green velvet back, the age of the item. Could be anywhere in there, 60s, 70s. It was $2. I think I can get about $35 for this in my booth at the Antique Mall. This is handmade, very nice copper art. Folk art, could be. Next thing I found, a little bit more mass-produced, but not really. This is hand-carved, this fish. It was $5. At the Goodwill. I don't know, it could have been Frostburg, but it does say Honduras on the back, so it's probably very likely tourist art. It's obviously a serving tray of some kind. It's got, you know, these little etchings in here. I really like this. I do really well with like vintage serving stuff, especially like hand carved. This was $5. I think I can get about $26 or so for the fish. Next thing I found, I'm really excited about, because I found it just the other day in Morgantown, West Virginia, and it is a vintage creamer and sugar set. As you can see, it's got the great wood handles. I have not even oiled this yet. When this oils, this will be incredible. Now, the people who I bought this from, Animal Friends thrift store, right there, had this for $8. That is a lot of dollars for one of these. But they kind of knew what they had. This is made by a company called Bowman, who made a lot of silver. And they go back very many years. Like, they even did Art Deco stuff in the 30s. There's Art Deco versions of this item. I think this is more probably 1960s, I guess. And it was $8. I think I can get $35 because of the sleek lines. This is not quite Art Deco, but 50s, very good looking. Should be a easy sell. All right, next thing I found, a little more modern. I'll just say it. I found this vase. Is it vase or vase? This vase. For what? $5. But the reason I bought it is because it's marked. It's got a sticker for Blenko. So, Blenko glass, West Virginia. And I find a fair amount of it because we are on the West Virginia-Maryland border. I've mentioned this, but this is marked twice because on the bottom, there it is, Blenko 2002. You don't get much more provenance than the date, the company, and a sticker. Pretty nice vase. Looks a little wonky at the top, like it might be slanted. This could be purchased as a second quality. I don't know that for sure, but I found this for $5. I think the going rate on something like this is around $40. So $35-40 on the Blenko hand-blown vase. Speaking of handmade stuff, I feel like I keep forgetting something. I found this just the other day at my Goodwill in Oakland, Maryland. Incredible, heavy pottery. Well, it's got a thing for hanging, but it's like a centerpiece. It could go on a table. This person chose to hang this as just decorative art. But like I said, could be a centerpiece, could be anything. And hard to say who made it, but it's not that old. 2012, so 12 years old. This big signature, and boy, if anyone can get to the bottom of what that is, I really have had no luck. And it just takes me on a wild goose chase of pottery when I look up vintage pottery or 2012 and try to Google lens that image. Doesn't really do much, but it's so big and so large. As with an unknown artist, this is worth $40. I paid $6. I'll make $34 off this giant, heavy, hand-blown pottery centerpiece. A couple things left. One of my favorite things to find. I grew up with one of these in my house. My mom had one. We put the dog biscuits in there. This incredible penguin. See that? Hot cold server. A lot of people think this is an ice bucket. This was made by a company called West Bend Aluminum. And this West Bend hot cold server is iconic. You would put anything from ice cubes to spagooter. You could put in there spagooter and marbles. Look at this. You can't go to a thrift store, an antique mall, without one person having this penguin hot cold server. And the prices on these anywhere from $25 to $40. So if you're looking for one of these, you can find them. And I think the actual price, and I've said this before, I've found these before, and I think the actual price of the value on these is about $25. And that's with the wood handle, wood knobs. There's a Bakelite version of this with the Bakelite, which is early plastic. That's a little bit more valuable. So keep an eye out for the Bakelite and pay more if you want. It's a free country. We're down to our last item, and I think this thing is a doozy. You're not going to believe it. And I'm just going to pull it out here. Art. One of a kind art. Handmade art. But a little bit of a mystery involved here. So I was at my local Goodwill the other day. I saw this and was perplexed because when I researched it, none of it made sense. But I'm just gonna dig it out. So it's dang art. As you can see, these are ducks, tiny ducks up there, and just a lonesome scene, you know, just really bleak. It's looks like it might rain, but very well done. These ducks are incredible. I'll actually bring this up a little bit to give the detail on this. Perfect condition, oil on canvas, minimalist duck art. I love it. It's not really my style, but I love how well done it is. The birds are incredible. This whole scene of the marsh it's nice. It's a very understated painting. A true painting done by Helmut King. Helmut King. Now here's where it gets weird. When you look up Helmut King's art, it doesn't look anything like this. It's all like colorful, bold, almost like graffiti art, you know? So I'm trying to figure out why, if this is Helmut King's work, why does it not look like the graffiti art, the weird, colorful? Did Helmut King do this at the end of his career when he was settling in his lake house? I don't know. Did he do it at the beginning of his career before he discovered graffiti art? Is there a second Helmut King on the grassy knoll? That's what I'm asking. Could it be that two Helmut Kings are good painters? Because the other stuff is great. So it's a mystery, but it was $10 for a giant oil on canvas. I think it's worth at least $100 to $150. I'm saying $100 minimum. Let's see what I did. I spent $44. 44 total on everything you saw, except for the Wuppies. And when it's all said and done, through my booths in the antique malls, maybe some eBay, I'm looking at $332 off 44. Almost $300 profit. You can do it too. Of course, keep watching my program, Mid Mod Money. Be nice to everyone. And remember, you guys, always round up.